Hello, and welcome to My Mom Calls It Soccer. I'm Michelle,
And I am Chase, and I call it football.
and Grandma is in the front seat with me, and we are headed back from going to see the Kansas City Current play, which is women's professional soccer team in Kansas City, and then watching Sporting KC, which is the professional men's soccer team, play in Kansas City. And we're headed back. We're just doing a little recap. I'm driving, so I'm focused on that, but I'm going to let Grandma and Chase recap some things, and I'll add in as we go. Does that work with everybody?
Yep.
Sounds good.
Okay, so let's start with the KC Current game. I'll give just a brief overview. We had some issues getting to the stadium. Trying to find the stadium. I don't know what we're doing. We'll talk about that more. But once we finally got there, I thought it was a really entertaining game. The Current won 3-1. I thought they were fun to watch. I thought the atmosphere was super fun. What did you guys want to say about it?
I thought KC Current, that's what you call them.
Yes.
I thought they mostly dominated in possession in the game, and they kind of just kept the ball with their defenders, fullbacks.
They seemed to really be more athletic, I thought, than
Yeah.
Portland, which was the team that they played.
Hmm.
But I thought that they seemed to just in control of the game. Again, they won 3-1. Really cool stadium that is built specifically for that women's soccer team. And I think, if I'm right, the first stadium in the United States built only for a professional women's team. So that's pretty cool. Again, great atmosphere. Food vendors are all local food vendors, and so really cool stuff. We had issues getting there. Does anybody want to talk about our issues getting to the stadium?
I think this might be one for Grandma.
We'll let Grandma talk
Well,
about it.
Yes, we thought that we could ride the trolley and get pretty close to the stadium. As it turns out, we got out at the wrong time, and we walked and walked and walked.
We're lost. We don't know how to get to the stadium. They need to do a better job of directions to the stadium.
And then we ran into a couple of girls who had been season ticket holders, and they told us a easy way to get in the back way, and we followed them, and you can no longer get in that way.
So the
So-
original way we went is what Apple Maps told us to go, but there is construction and an entrance was shut down. So then we regrouped and came back, and that's when these two wonderful women helped us. But even the way they were trying to go was blocked off. So there's a lot of construction going on around it. My 2 cents, Kansas City Current, if anybody sees this, is just better signage. I think they're limited in what they can provide for parking there, which I get, but some signage kind of directing us would have helped a lot.
Yes,
so we
definitely.
would have just not wasted. We backtracked a lot, and that is what.
Yeah, because we weren't the only ones who were
Yes,
lost.
a lot
There
of
were many.
people were wandering around, backtracking, and trying to figure out how to get there. By the time we got to the stadium from where we had parked our car, we had walked 3 miles. So that was the only downside. It was everything else about the experience
Everything
was
else was
great,
great,
but
yes.
they need to really address that. So now let's talk about the Sporting KC game. We've been before, so a return trip for us. Obviously.
Oh, by the way,
oh,
the Currents game, the KC Currents game ended 3-1.
yes.
So
So the Current won 3-1, and again, like Chase said, pretty much dominated that whole game. Then with Sporting KC, again, if you're in our area and you haven't been to the Sporting KC stadium, it is extremely nice.
really nice.
It's really all of the seats are great. The atmosphere is amazing. everything about that was great. And there's lots of parking, there's lots of options, there's paid parking, there's other options, but very easy to get to, very easy to be a part of that. But Chase, why don't you talk about how the game went?
The first half was a pretty dominant performance from Minnesota FC. I guess that's what you call
Yes.
them. They went 2-0 up in the first half, and they were like faster. Every single player on the pitch was, and they had more technical quality as well. Like the Sporting KC players just didn't have a good mentality going into the game as well, and they kind of just hoofed some crosses up. Were trying to look for the perfect pass when they could have just easily taken a shot, test the keeper, and things like that. In the second half, Minnesota FC got a goal in the first minute of the second half to put themselves 3-0 up, but eventually Sporting KC really clicked in the game, and they came back to draw 3-3.
Sporting KC made some substitutions, and I can't tell you who they subbed in because I'm not familiar enough. But it did seem after they made some substitutions and had some fresh guys in there in that second half, they did start to click better and they really made a run.
Yeah.
The thing that was interesting for me as an outsider and the learning process, and we have talked about this before, but I found it again today, is that how a draw can be exciting. When I think, again, as Americans, when we watch sports, that's a hang up that some people have, that a sport can end in a draw.
Mm-hmm.
But in today's game, Sporting was down 3-0 and came all the way back to tie it, which then, what I was asking Chase about, affects their standing in the league and affects seeding for the tournament at the end of the year. Is that right, Chase?
Yes. Yep.
So even though it ended in a draw, like Chase said to me, well, it's better than losing, and it's better that you're getting some points because you did draw, as opposed to not if you had lost. So I just think, as somebody who is coming on board to learn about the game more, I am becoming more comfortable with the idea of the draw, and maybe it's because I'm just spending more time around soccer.
And it
Football.
made for a very exciting
It was
second
super
half.
exciting. The
Very
second half was
exciting.
super exciting. And when Sporting tied it up, everyone went crazy. And you really did think that either team might score a goal there at the end. It was very aggressive all the way till the final whistle. So there were times when you thought, oh, Minnesota is going to score, or oh, Sporting is going to score.
Yeah.
So I thought that second half was really entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
So anything else you guys want to add about this trip up here?
The only thing I would add was that during the Sporting KC game, it was 46 degrees and it snowed the entire game.
It did. It snowed. It was like being in a snow globe in the stadium. It was crazy. So we have logged a lot of steps today, walking a lot to try to figure out the current game, and then a decent amount of walking just getting to Sporting KC. But we had an amazing time, and we felt really lucky that we were able to catch both teams in town playing on the same day at different times and get to experience all of that. And now I think we're all ready to go home and go to bed for a while.
Yeah.
So anybody else got anything to add in this little mobile, my mom calls it soccer, mini podcast?
Nope.
I think we're good.
All right. We'll see you next time.
All right.